So Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C. to crack down on the high crime rates that he says is going on. But what is really going on? Why? And what does this mean for foundational Black Americans in the D.C. area?
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. The first thing that I want to do before we get started, I know this is late, a lot later than we tend to go. We tend to go a few hours actually earlier than what we're going right now. So, but I had something I had to take care of, and came back home a lot later than I anticipated. So I appreciate you guys' patience. I know that a lot of you guys are probably going to be watching this on the playback. That's fine, but I appreciate everybody. A lot of people just left a like and then they went to bed. Thank you guys for that, because that's still important as well too. So thank you guys for that. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting too much longer. We're kind of going to get right into it because we are a little bit late. More than a little bit late, but we're late, but we're here. I was going to do it tonight regardless, okay? And I owe y'all one. I do owe y'all one. Okay, we're gonna do another call-in show, not tonight, but something, because I owe y'all one. All right, and I definitely respect and appreciate y'all time and patience. Now, before we get started with everything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything we play thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use. So y'all do not mess with me. Okay, I'm doing everything legit. In the meantime, what you guys can do is you guys can hit that like button. All right, hit that like button, subscribe button, share button, all those buttons. Hit all of the buttons. All right, and we'll be right back with you. Copyright disclaimer: under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not really breaking any news. A lot of you guys have seen this before. I'm not really breaking news right now, but right now Trump has deployed the National Guard. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this news clip about it. It's not really breaking news, but I do want to give some level of commentary to the situation. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to kind of get into more details of what the situation has. Okay, so this is what we got going on. Look at that. All right, here we go.
Right now at 5:30, a new video coming in overnight showing FBI and DEA agents on patrol in Georgetown. They are just some of the hundreds of federal law enforcement officers that have been positioned in D.C. in response to President Trump's crime crackdown. Thanks for being with us this Wednesday morning. I'm Adriana Hopkins.
And I'm Melanie Hastings in for Adam Longo. A White House official says since the federal takeover of D.C. police on Monday, the 60 arrests have been made so far.
Well, that includes arrests for murder, drugs, gun offenses, stalking, DUI, and others.
And hundreds of members of the National Guard are also deploying to D.C. This is video of some troops near the Washington Monument last night. Their mission is to support local and federal officers as President Trump takes aim at what he calls out-of-control crime in D.C.
Well, 7 News' John Gonzalez is live at the D.C. Armory, where about 100 National Guardsmen filled out the necessary paperwork ahead of their local mission.
That's right, Adriana. Good morning. And staffers here at the D.C. Armory tell me that they are expecting very long days with a lot of overtime, similar to what they saw back in 2021 when the J6 Capitol breach happened. More than 25,000 D.C. National Guard soldiers were activated to secure the Capitol. Well, this time around, 800 of these soldiers have been deployed here locally, and many of them started arriving yesterday while our cameras were rolling. The Guard and federal agents are part of this rare mobilization, and Mayor Muriel Bowser says she wants to make the most of it. She sat down Tuesday with U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's now leading this public safety effort here in the district.
There are opportunities for us to build upon our community engagement with our federal partners who work with us every day, and this is the time for us to do it. What I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have.
Now, Pam Bondi did not go on camera yesterday, but did say in a statement that she found the meeting to be productive and pledging close collaboration with D.C. officials. However, there's already plenty of opposition. The group Move On says more than 29,000 people, residents here in the district, have already signed a petition calling on Congress to stop what they call a militarized takeover here in the nation's capital. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
Now we've been
okay. I'm gonna pause it right here. First off, we were very late, and I want to just give the time to thank you guys for being here. Okay, because we're behind schedule by a lot, and you guys are still here. That shows a level of dedication, and that shows that you guys are really about this. Okay, and you guys really do support the channel. So I'm not gonna forget you guys' name. I see, of course, we got our mods in here. We see my Nisi, BX, we got our brother Cyberdon, 7, Anna, I see you all. April, I see you. So thank you guys very much. Rosemary, I see you. Thank you very much. One thing about this that I think is, because there's good and bad to the situation, and I'm gonna give my take a little bit after the news thing is over. One thing I do think that is Donna, I see you, Donna. Bruce, I see you. Thank you all very much. One thing I do think that is probably making this situation a little bit smoother than if this was in other states, because first off, DC technically is not a state. Technically, DC is a district, okay, and it's a district that's kind of ran by the federal government. So Trump does have authority in DC that he probably wouldn't have if he was like in Chicago, in New York, or wherever the case may be. So that's that. But the fact that the mayor and the police are kind of, I suppose, working with the federal government a little bit is making the transition in this a lot smoother. Now, we've seen stuff with for instance, the situation with ICE in Chicago and in LA, where the mayor, Brandon Johnson, he is all like, under no circumstances, ever am I going to help ICE. I'm never going to help ICE. I'm never going to help the federal government. No, they got to stay out of here. So that makes this a little bit better. I'm going to finish the news article, going to finish the news clip, and then I'm going to, give my commentary on it. Okay. But the fact that I think that's a positive, if you can find a positive out the situation, I think that's, I guess, making it a little bit smoother. Even though, to be honest, and I'm just going to give you guys a spoiler alert, to be honest, this is not a good thing, in my opinion. I'm going to give you guys that why, but let's finish. Okay.
Telling you crime is down in D.C., specifically violent crime, which is down 26% compared to the same time last year. But for many, crime is still top of mind. U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro, is pushing back on the reports that crime is down. She references data showing 23 teenagers were shot and killed in D.C. last year, and 16 have been shot and killed this year.
You tell these families crime has dropped. You tell the mother of the intern who was shot going out from McDonald's near the Washington Convention Center, oh, crime is down. You tell the kid who was just beat the hell and back with a severe concussion and a broken nose, crime is down. No, that falls on deaf ears, and my ears are deaf to that.
Well, Pirro argues D.C. still has a high violent crime rate, even if it's declined from record highs. She blames so-called...
Okay, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that, right? DC does have crime problems. That is true. DC does have crime problems. The thing I will say with that, though, is that the crime problems are not like as severe as most people are saying would be necessary to deploy the National Guard, because when you actually look at the statistics over here, these are the actual statistics. This is all of the data from Statistical. When you look at the difference between this year and last year, when it comes to the whole DMV area as a collective, really, you can see pretty much all crime, whether that's violent crime or property crime, has been decreasing. Okay, besides motor vehicle theft, that's the only one that has not decreased. You can look towards the bottom and you see motor vehicle theft, and it's had a 0% change from 2014 to from 2024 to 2025. Besides that, I mean, robbery has gone down 28%. That's a pretty impressive number. You got assault, homicide, sexual abuse, all of that stuff. All of that stuff has gone down by a lot. Okay, even when it comes to property crime, which has gone down less, you have theft, auto theft, burglary and things like that. That's gone down a little bit, not as much, but overall violent crime has gone down, as you can see by the statistics. And this is why people are kind of scratching their head looking like, okay, Trump, what is the what's the point of this? You know what I'm saying? Not that violent crime is not an issue. Okay, it's time for us to be very mature with this. We got to be very mature with this. Violent crime and crime in general, but violent crime in particular, is an issue in every single city in America. There is not a single American city that is completely pure of violent crime, that has no violent crime at all. So we understand, we get it. Violent crime is an issue. We get that. Here's the thing with that though. Trump didn't run on, this being such a big thing, and there has not been any recent development that would make you think that, okay, there's not been no huge spike. I mean, there has not been a huge spike, or even a spike at all, enough that would warrant such an extreme response from the federal government, sending hundreds of National Guard out to DC to crack down on crime. Just seems kind of random, overreaching, and a very extreme measure for when you look at the statistics. No reason. That's what a lot of people are saying. When people look at the statistics, it seems as if this is just kind of like for really no reason whatsoever. Now, of course, and what she just said, well, tell the mothers that, tell this, that, tell this, that. Okay, let's be mature, right? Let's really be mature with this. Okay. Yeah, there are going to be victims, and there are going to be victims' families, and that's so unfortunate. And something does need to happen when it comes to crime, but you can't cherry pick a few victims' families and then put them on a board, a cutout board, and then say, okay, because we have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old who were shot, that warrants hundreds of National Guard patrolling the streets of DC. She put that up there, and then she was getting very frustrated or whatever. You're patrolling, and it's really seeming like it's for no reason. There's no big crime epidemic, okay, in DC. As a matter of fact, across America in general, if you look at the statistics throughout the years, crime has actually been going down throughout the years across the nation. Now, of course, you'll have spikes here or there, but crime has, in general, violent crime in particular, has been decreasing. So this just seems like such an extreme measure for really no reason, unless Trump has another reason for this, okay? But we're going to continue that.
Soft on crime policies like no cash bail, youth rehabilitation and probation programs, record sealing, and family court programs. Advocates for juvenile intervention argue there needs to be more of a focus on why kids commit crimes than on their punishment. Of course, Stay with 7 News is
okay. So that's pretty much it. Let me say something. A lot of people are doing the whole, oh man, if y'all would have voted for Kamala, this wouldn't have happened. Nah, listen. Here's the thing. We're not advocates for the Democrats. You guys understand this. But the thing is that we're not advocates for the Republicans. See, this makes us smart. Okay, right now, us and 100 of people listening and that will listen on the playback, we're the smartest people in the room. Okay, because we weren't out there being all like, "MAGA, we love you, and everything Trump does is great, and he deserves no criticism." I never said that. Y'all never said that. We were never on that type of time. Okay, so we are on. We're right in the middle of where everything should be. Okay, because we can criticize, and this is what makes voting for the couch so perfect, because now we get to criticize Trump and hold Trump's feet and his administration's feet to the fire. We can also do that with the Democrats. Okay, don't let anybody try to polarize the political process and make it seem like, well, you see, you guys should have just been loyal Democrat worshipers and now you guys got to back everything Trump does. No. We don't have to back or agree with everything that Trump does. I've said this from when I was making videos from YouTube early on. I want y'all to understand something. When I first started making videos on YouTube, I didn't even use my laptop. I had a laptop, didn't use it. I didn't start using my laptop until I started live streaming, okay, which was months after I started making videos. I was originally making videos on my cell phone. I was recording it on my cell phone and editing it on my cell phone and then uploading it to YouTube. I was doing all of that on my cell phone. When I was making videos on my cell phone, I was criticizing the way Trump dealt with crime. I have never, ever, ever approved of the way that Trump does crime. Trump handles crime, because we know for a fact that Trump handles crime when it comes to black people very differently than when it comes to white people. Okay, let's do a little reminder real quick. We're going to get to Trump. Hold on, because we got a whole lot of stuff when it comes to Trump. This is some of the stuff that I didn't like, okay? Stuff like this.
And when you...
Okay. Now, this is his first term. This is when he was the president for his first term.
And when you see these towns, and when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, you know, the way you put their hand over. Like, don't hit their head, and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
Now, do y'all see that? Okay. That is not only him pretty much dismissing police brutality and condoning police brutality. That's him encouraging police brutality. And when you talk about thugs, we all know is a code word for black people. Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if the cop witnesses you shoot somebody. When you are in handcuffs and if you are complying, the cop has absolutely no right to dish out their own version of justice under any circumstance. That is what trial is for. That is what a judge and a jury is for. Okay, the cop don't have a right to, well, you know, I can rough you up, which is really what he meant. Okay, the person is supposed to be protected, because regardless of, even if the cop claims he saw it, you're still innocent until proven guilty. Who proves you guilty? You go to trial and you get proven guilty in trial. Okay, where you have a defense and you have a prosecutor and you go through all of the evidence and then you get proven guilty. All right, and then the judge determines your punishment based off of the law. It is not the responsibility, okay, or even allowed from the police who arrest you to do that at all. Okay, and I never liked the way he did that, because he wouldn't do that when he used the word thugs and stuff like that. He's not doing that when it comes to black people. I mean, when it comes to white people. Okay, and as the president, what he did was very dangerous. What else was very dangerous is when you look back, look at the damn smiles while they talk about, well, you know, there's some bad apples and, you know, most cops are really good. Look at how many cops smiled and laughed when he said that.
Their head, and they've just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
smiling and cheering. Okay. And they want to tell you that how hard of a job they have and how much of a sacrifice they have to do. I've never liked that. Okay. See, and these are the reasons when people say, oh, well, I was not on no Trump train. Okay. I was not on that because I got a good memory. I have a very good memory. And I remember this about Donald Trump. I remember this about Donald Trump, and I'm not going to forget this either. All right. I also remember this.
A mugshot. And
this is when he got convicted and he had a mugshot, right?
You know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Saying that the quote unquote black population embraced his mugshot. The black population embraced his mugshot. That's quite literally what he's saying. Okay. Someday, yeah, man. That's very offensive and incredibly disrespectful. And I have not forgotten that. I never did forget that. Okay, hold on. Let me see. There was something else. Hold on. I want to show y'all something else because I remember stuff. I don't forget anything. And this is why when we talk about the system of white supremacy, we talk about it and we talk about the fact that it's on both sides. That was highly disrespectful and highly offensive. And it lets you know how he views crime. And he views crime and criminality that's synonymous with the black community. He does not do that when it comes to the non-black community. He doesn't do that when it comes to the white community. So when I see, oh yeah, you're trying to crack down on crime, that means that you're going to be sitting up there having folk looking for black people and going around just doing anything when it comes to black people. And I don't like that at all. So when I see the National Guard out there, I'm like, oh, okay, this is not really going to be that good. This is not that good. Okay. So you had a whole bunch. When I saw this, I'm all like, okay, because really there is no real justification or rationale for this. This is such an extreme measure.
They're moving in to crush these protests.
Okay, so you had a whole bunch of protests, and because when he announced that there was going to be a National Guard, there was a lot of protests outside. Let me show y'all some of the protests that was going on.
DC! Free DC! Free DC! Free DC! Protect home rule! 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 Protect home rule!
This morning because Trump is trying to take over DC. He's having a press conference and he wants to assert more of his authority over DC, and we are here to say he can't have it. Stay with me. He can't have it.
He can't have it.
Trump can't have it.
Trump can't have it.
DC is our home.
DC is our home.
We are just some of the hundreds of thousands of people who live here in DC. Our communities.
Okay, now I want you guys to understand something. Let's be mature about this situation. The National Guard that is there, they are there supposed to be kind of just standing by and assisting the local police, but he has militarized the police. So I want you guys to see, you're going to see a lot of videos from these white liberals who are going to be like, no, Trump is a fascist. Trump is this, Trump is this. Listen, with a grain of salt, listen, I want y'all to understand something. These people are going to go to the extreme on everything. Don't follow none of the white liberals when it comes to this stuff, okay? We understand what happens to the white liberals is not what's going to happen to black people. We need to be very focused and concerned strictly and exclusively with black people, That's the only thing that's the only reason I'm even making this, is because there's a lot of black people in DC. That's the only reason I'm even talking about this. But there's been a lot of protests going on in DC. Okay. A lot of people don't like that. And yeah. But stuff like this, I want y'all to look at stuff like this. Hold on, where is it? It's coming up.
Motherfucker!
Look. So this, yeah, you see these damn white liberals. Look at this.
Motherfucker! Oh! Oh! It's fucking done! It's fucking done!
Okay. So this is some type of white dude, white man. He's upset with a, now this is a federal agent. This dude threw a Subway sandwich at a federal agent and then just started running away. Now, when he gets caught, because I seriously doubt he outran both of the federal agents. When he gets caught, they're going to put federal charges because they're going to say that was an assault. You just assaulted a federal officer. That for no reason. You literally just assaulted a damn federal officer for absolutely no reason. Okay? Now it's kind of comical. It's funny as hell. But I don't want black people to go out there doing that. No. Do not go out there doing none of that. Don't do none of that stupid nonsense. Don't do none of that stupid nonsense. Now, had he been black, he wouldn't have even been random. Okay, had he even been black, they would have upped the gun and shot him. They would have said, "Oh, I thought the Subway sandwich was a Molotov cocktail." Yeah, I thought the meat lovers, meatball marinara Subway sandwich, I thought that was a Molotov cocktail, so I had to blow him away. That's what they would have did. Now they're gonna catch him. They're not gonna put a scratch on him at all. Black people, don't be out there sitting up there losing your mind like these damn white liberals, and then wasting your money too. I mean, why would you buy a sub to throw it at somebody? Come on, man. There's better things you can do with your time. Don't be doing that. So you got protests, and a lot of these protests, I want y'all to see, a lot of the protests is of white liberals. White liberals are the ones out there kind of protesting. There's protests around, with black people as well, too. I want y'all to look at it and see. No.
Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets!
Why won't you show your face? Like, do you look yourself in the mirror and think I did a good job today?
Go left!
Now, so what's going on is that ICE is out there as well, too, guys. ICE is also out there. So they're doing checkpoints to when you drive through the checkpoint or whatever. Now they stop you. They say, "Hey, let me see your ID," which from a legal standpoint, they can do. From a legal standpoint, they can do. Okay. So they'll check your ID and then check you, make sure that you're supposed to be here, boo wop the bam, and all of this. Now, you guys understand that the white liberals, they love themselves some damn illegals. So what they're going to do is they're trying to warn the illegals to go around, where the checkpoints are. So that's what you're seeing right here. Okay. Now, they wouldn't do this for black people. They don't try to look out for black people the way they look out for illegals. But okay, all right. I don't want y'all to go out there, because what they're doing is, if they get caught, it can be considered. Now, it's kind of vague, because you can say that this is a protest, but when it's white, they'll say it's a protest. If they were black people doing this, they would lock them up and say you're obstructing justice. And they do that to black people all the time. How many times have we seen a black person be like, "Hey, yo, the cops is here. The cops here. Yo, hurry up and run away," or whatever. The cops is here. Okay, we locked you up because you're obstructing police work. You're obstructing justice. What they will consider you, if you were a black person, what they would consider, what these white people are able to get away with, is aiding and abetting. That's what they would consider that. Okay. That would be obstructing justice and aiding and abetting. Now, with them, they're going to let them slide. They're going to say, well, they're voicing their First Amendment right. With you being black, you ain't got that. Okay. the rules start changing. So I'm just giving the warning, black people, this ain't our fight. Okay. We need, even if they in DC, you need to be looking out for, if you're gonna warn anybody, warn black folk. Don't be warning no damn illegals. Oh, ICE is here. Don't do that. If you're gonna warn anybody, make sure they black. So you got them out here doing all of this.
Turn left! Turn left!
Trying to get people to turn left to not go down 14th Street. There's a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars. We've seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken, no rhyme or reason.
Go left! Turn left! Turn left! Go left!
Absolutely. Still got time to do this, and I'm a fucking fed. Listen, you motherfuckers. You guys had a reason to stop your car in the first place? Huh? Or you guys clean up that price?
Okay. Okay. All right. I want y'all to see. Look, y'all, don't get caught up in that. Now, the thing is that Trump, yeah, there's really no reason. Now, and here's the thing. They're all like, well, they've made so many arrests. They've made like what a bunch of arrests. Yeah, they're making arrests because right now what they're doing is they're grabbing anybody for any old thing. They're literally looking for black people. Now, white people are the ones who are obstructing justice and getting in the way of police work and doing all of the stuff that they claim they don't like. But who they're looking for are black people. That's who they're looking for. Let me show y'all. They're looking for black people. They're not even looking for the damn illegals as much as they're looking for the black people. Let me show y'all some of the stuff they got going on in DC. Okay, just out here. This is like on some stop and frisk harassing people.
Today, y'all stay in that trouble. You got your ID on you, chick?
No,
no.
Let me just play.
Y'all stay in that trouble. You got your ID on you, chick?
No, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keep everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal surge that Donald Trump's putting out?
No.
Right. You don't follow like Code 3, anything like that people are putting up? All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together, 7 days of going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law so they learn, right? And then if there's other stuff going on where it turns into there's multiple agencies of somebody, there's a shooting and things like that. So there's extra hands available, all right? So
okay, so y'all know these people are at their house. They're not harming anybody. They're not committing a crime. They're not doing anything that needs to be investigated. No, and when the brother, he was all like, well, were you guys called? It's not like the cops got a anonymous tip that these people are out here doing anything. It's not like these people, quote unquote, fit the description. These people are at their own property, and you got these race soldiers who come up here and they, can I see your ID, sir? He was like, for what? For what? Okay, now with all of the protests going on in DC, you don't see white people being just stopped randomly and asked to show ID. This is stop and frisk. Okay, now what I'm glad is that the brothers in the video stayed cool, calm, and collected and handled the situation appropriately. You know, didn't get lose their head or whatever the case is. But this is harassment for no reason.
we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joint or something like that, all right?
I only asked because when you walked up, at the moment you walked up, you only had eggs.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand, and I didn't flash right, so I didn't realize it was just a cigarette, so that's on me.
Okay, now, and this is something that they will do, okay? Black people in DC, let me, I want y'all to see me when I say this. This is something that they're going to do, okay? Because the thing is that you can't prove that they don't smell marijuana, okay? You can't do that. So if they pull you over, they can go, well, I smell marijuana, even if they don't find anything, because all they would need is quote unquote probable cause to search you, or because they need some reason to suspect that you're doing something illegal. If they smell marijuana on you, then that's their probable cause to search you, or whatever the case is. Whether you have it or don't have it, they'll say they smell it. This guy, as you can see, he says, well, I smelt marijuana, but the guy has a cigarette and nobody else is smoking anything. So where did he smell this marijuana from? This is an old tactic that they've always used, because that gives them a reason to search you. And if they don't find anything, they don't get in trouble, because they can claim that the reason is they smelt marijuana. All right. This is something that they've always done.
I appreciate you understanding and not getting chippy. All right, so just know, right? Learn, teach, tell your boys, like, yo, everybody's out, from FBI to park police. So do your thing. Let them know. Don't be smoking outside. Don't be drinking outside, because Donald Trump is tired of it. People come to visit.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know smoking in public?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the arrestable
Because
offense.
in Maryland, it's recreational use, so I didn't know.
Yeah, so DC, it's recreational use as well, right? But you can legally possess up to 2 ounces. You can gift an ounce to your boy, right?
Okay. The thing, a lot of people asking, is it legal? Is it legal? There's like a caveat to it, kind of. Because you can have a certain amount of it. I think like 2 ounces. If you're over 21, you can have like 2 ounces of it and no more than that. And I'm not sure if, because he's saying you can't smoke publicly, so you can't like be, outside with it, but you can smoke inside so they got a thing. It's like legal, but it's not legal enough for them to get you on it. You know what I'm saying? So they can kind of do whatever they want to do with the law in that sense. And they're going to go after black. They ain't going to go after white people with that. They don't go after white people for smoking weed. They just don't. They don't care that white people smoke weed, but they care that black people smoke weed. So just keep yourself with that in mind. Just make sure that you keep that in mind. All right. Because you might think it is or whatever, but then next thing you know, they'll say, well, technically it's not legal if you smoke it publicly, even though they're on their property. It's not like he's outside walking. So it's really, I'm white and I say so. Okay. It's I'm white and I say so. So they get to kind of do whatever they want to do. Okay. That's exactly what it is. At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. So you're out here harassing black people. They're not really cracking down on crime, because as I showed you guys before, there's not much crime to quote unquote crack down on. When you actually look at the data, when you actually look at the statistics, and Trump has not given any statistics or any data, any information that would, kind of rebuttal this. He's not saying that these statistics, the Republicans, the MAGA folk, they ain't saying that these statistics are inaccurate or wrong. They're not saying that. They're just saying, well, there's crime, period. So should the National Guard be just running around everywhere? Because there's crime all around America. So should they just be running around everywhere? Is that the method of quote unquote cracking down on crime that we want to see around the country? When you look at the statistics, the response that the National Guard is out there in DC seems so extreme. It does not need to be like that. Going through a damn epidemic of gang violence in DC, like we've been invaded. That's the way you think, but that's just not the way it is. which is why these people are walking around patrolling and they checking for black people smoking weed on their porch, because there's no crime to really go after. There's nothing for them to do but harass black people. That's the only thing they can do, because there's no crime really. They're sent there for no reason. Look at this. Show y'all something else. Okay, this is them. I want you to just look at the whole thing. Okay, these are the cops out there. This is an apartment complex or a housing building full of black folk. That's all I got to say, and I'm gonna just let it play.
Hey, Brody, drop your junk. Drop your junk. Hey, drop your junk. Look, drop your junk, bro. Just drop your junk. Drop your junk. Show him. Ain't got nothing. Bill, don't hurt yourself, Bill. All right. I ain't got nothing. What's up, White Shirt? What's up? What's all this for? How you feeling, man? What we know? I feel well. How are you? Ain't nothing going on right here. Better than ever, man. Yemi. Oh, you got your ski mask on? Nah, don't break it. Open the gate. Don't break it. Open the gate. Don't break it. Oh, I need pictures.
Almost about to break a damn gate. Okay.
That's all they wanted to do. I got my guy. I ain't doing that. I'm just recording for my safety. That's all we doing. We don't want no problem. Look, we don't want no problem. He is wood truck. Oh, got his hand on it. Look, we don't want no smoke, Brody. Oh, wood truck.
The way you see them outside, you think that they would. I want y'all to think the way y'all see all of these damn cops outside, federal agents outside. You would honestly believe that there was some type of drug kingpin. You think that this was some type of trap house where a drug kingpin and gang violence. You think that they was having. Do you think that this was a meth lab? Okay, and they got a damn opioid factory in this place. Okay, with a army of dead bodies and AK-47s and weapons and stuff. You think that this was something else. Okay, you think that there was damn weapons of mass destruction in that building, with how posted up and armed to the T they are outside. Okay, I just want you to understand that.
Yes, he did. You see the bike right there, Bill. Bike right there, Bill. You see the bike, Bill. You gonna real do up? Come on, bro.
Oh my God, I'm having anxiety. I'm about to fucking head. I'm about to go. Y'all gonna pay for that? Have the motherfucking keys down. Y'all want the keys? Y'all want the keys? Oh, you gonna pay for that, bitch?
So they went in there, and that's what you hear them saying. Do y'all want the key? Do y'all want the key? Because they busting doors down. Even though the residents there are offering like, hey, man, we can give you the key. We can open the door. Don't bust the door down. You ain't got to do all of that. What you doing? We are open the damn door for you. And they've ignored that and just go in there busting doors down.
Oh, don't bang on my door. Don't bang on my door. Don't bang on my door. Don't bang on my door.
Hey, White Shirt, have it. Yeah, White Shirt. You know this is easy. Keys in here, White Shirt. There's keys in here. How you bang on the door though? Why would y'all break the door like that? Damn. What the fuck?
They ran up in these people's house, then they jumped the gate. If they was gonna break the gate down, if they didn't find a way to open the gate, ran in there, bust the door down, or bust the door unnecessarily, just unnecessarily bust this door down, even though they offered to open the door for them, bust the door down, and then came out empty-handed. came out completely empty-handed. They're walking out. They don't got nobody in handcuffs. They don't got no big crates of weapons, crates of drugs, crates of money, crates of nothing. Walking out empty-handed because they went in there for no reason. So at this point, they're just running into buildings, breaking doors down, and then running out. That's what they're doing because there's no crime. And they're looking for black people trying to find things. All right? They're looking for that. Now, I want y'all to understand, they're not going to pay for nothing. They are not going to pay for nothing. The Supreme Court has already made it well known that no matter what damage the police cause, as long as the police are quote unquote under the guise of the law and doing their investigative work, as long as they're searching for something, even if there's nothing to be found, as long as they're searching for something and have quote unquote probable cause to search for whatever, they don't have to pay for what is torn up. So they can bust a door down, they can break a window, they can kick a hole in the wall, they can make a mess in your house, and they don't got to pay for it. Now, there's some people you can try to attempt to sue, but that's an uphill battle because technically they have not broken the law, and they do this with black people all of the time because they have no probable cause or nothing to run up in these people's houses because clearly there's no crime because they would have found something if there was.
Bottle. We're going to get another 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 bottle. Another bottle. And another bottle. You gotta get the fuck.
Okay, you see that? Do you see what we going through? Just unnecessary. Just it's absolutely completely unnecessary. What's going on in DC? None of this stuff has to happen that way. Okay. Now you saw the white dude was out there throwing sandwiches at the cops. And who are they concerned with? Not the white liberals out there like actually like legally attacking them. They're concerned with a bunch of black folk. That's who's on the top of their priority list. A bunch of black people. Let me show y'all that because there's some more stuff. And they've only been out there for like 3 days, y'all. I want y'all to understand that. They've only been out there for a few days. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Hold on. I want to show y'all something else. Black people are literally, let me pull this up for you. This is a video of a bunch of black teenagers out there just recording, okay? They're not doing anything. You got cops all around like this is martial law, like this is some type of alien invasion. And these black teenagers are doing something, are recording. Now, you ain't gonna see a video of them doing this to white teenagers. Just keep that in mind. Look at the guy in the white shirt right there.
Oh!
They just ran and grabbed him. Look at how aggressive they are, running and grabbing this dude for recording. He didn't hit them. He didn't threaten them. He got his cell phone in his hand. And you see the dude turn around, try to snatch it, and then a whole bunch of cops just ran out there and tackled him.
Oh!
Do you see that? Kicking him and all that? He's being assaulted for literally just recording the police.
Don't spray him. Don't spray him. Don't spray him. Oh! What the fuck? What the? Y'all harassing us. Stop spraying him.
Okay. Yep. Just for recording. It don't take much. Don't take much. And do you know how much money is actually being spent to keep the National Guard there? To keep these National Guards there who are going to be there for 30 days, if not longer, because after the 30-day period, then Congress has to weigh in. But the way Congress is acting, Congress is probably going to be there. They might be there a little bit longer, the way Congress is, because Congress is mostly red. But look. Let me show y'all some more stuff. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, let me show y'all. Okay.
Runner.
Who got the fuck? Who just got the fuck? I don't even know. Who just ran, y'all? Who just ran? Look at him.
Damn. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Let me take it back.
No. Hey, why the fuck are you putting in the handcuffs? You don't have no reason to put this man in handcuffs, sir. I'm not close to you. I'm just saying. Back up. Don't get close enough. Back up. Just back up. All we saying is why y'all putting this man in handcuffs? He showed you he has nothing. What y'all want? Yeah, give me on camera, boy. I'm leaving. Nigga, fuck you talking about? Got me on camera, boy. He put this man in handcuffs with no reason. Hey, don't push him, y'all. Don't push them. He had no reason to put this man in handcuffs.
Okay.
Yeah, calm down.
Let me ask y'all a question, just real quick. What crime are they stopping? Because the way you think that these people are some type of career criminals who've escaped prison. These are not no career criminals. These are not no international terrorists. What crime are they stopping? They're not really stopping a crime. Not really. They're not really stopping a crime. They're out there just kicking it outside in the summertime. They're not doing this to the white frats who got beer cans all over the place and who be doing a whole bunch of drugs. And I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about drugs, not no weed. Okay. But yet they're out there, and the only people you see them harassing and in the neighborhoods and busting in houses are black people. That's the only people you see them targeting.
Hell, y'all, relax. Illegally detained. No, he said, look, calm down. Back up, calm down, y'all. He said he only detained a U.S. person, bro. Calm down, y'all. Everybody calm down, y'all.
Out their face. Get out their face, y'all. Get out their face.
Jack, back up. Back up.
Get out their face. Get out their face.
This nigga acting like he about to fight.
We make child brother good. We don't care about child rednecks. Y'all come from motherfucking Albuquerque coming down here. Y'all don't even care about the black community. Oh, they trying to shoot. Oh, they trying to shoot, man. I'm not going to shoot.
Calm down. He's going to take your ass to jail.
Mo, what the fuck, man? Hey, y'all don't leave Frank though, y'all. Make sure they don't on Frank though. Make sure.
Okay, that's the end of that, right? That's the end of that. There is no reason, none whatsoever for them to be out there doing that. None, no reason. But they're out there doing all of that. Just absolutely doing the absolute most for no reason whatsoever. I need black people who are in DC to understand that you guys need to be very vigilant, okay? Because right now they're looking for any little thing to get black people on. They're looking for anything. They're not looking for the white liberals, which is why I showed y'all the dude throwing the sandwich or whatever the case is. He gonna get a slap on the wrist. Probably. If he was black, it would be way more severe. Don't be out there doing the crazy stuff. Black people need to focus on protecting other black people and staying to themselves. Okay? Y'all need to right now just do everything. Don't give them a reason because they're looking for one. They're looking for a reason. Out there just harassing people. You don't see cops doing this to nobody else. And you don't even see cops doing this to the quote-unquote brown people. While they talk about some black and brown community and black and brown Hispanics and black and brown and all that stuff. You don't see the cops doing this to nobody else. You see cops specifically doing this to black people, not nobody else. So, and this is why I don't like, we also got to watch out for the people because there's some people who are going to be out there kind of condoning it, kind of saying, oh, crime is so tough and crime is so bad and we need Trump out here to get rid of all these crime and these black folk and niggas, and I don't like black people. So you're going to see a whole lot of that stuff. Let me show y'all that. It's always going to be one of those folk who out here doing that, okay? I saw this video earlier.
I came all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. So peaceful, yeah. I don't smell no weed, young. I don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You see now I'm at the White House, jump, man. It's quiet, yeah. It's a shame that it takes somebody to have to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, yeah. Because that's what it feels like, yeah. You gotta be babysitter to do your job, yeah. Stuff been out of control for years. You gotta do better, yeah. You gotta do better, yeah. And mainly, young, you got the problems. It's us, man. It's always us giving everybody a bad name, yeah. We'll see how long this lasts, yeah. How many?
It's always us. That means black people. It's always us giving people a bad name. That like Uncle Ruckus. Well, y'all just listen to the white man and want even him to this smoking weed, which damn near is it legal. You know, depending on the circumstance or I guess how much it is legal, whether you like weed or not, whether you smoke it or not, whether you like the smell or not, it's not a crime in a lot of places. And it's starting to not be a crime damn near at all. And of course, because that comes with caveats. I don't want to send people off. But he was like, man, and all this loud music and weed and black folk and y'all got the ski mask and locks and stuff. Cut your hair, niggas. Like, yeah, all of that. All of it, and you're gonna have a whole bunch of people sitting up there. Thank you, master. I got black fatigue. You're gonna have a whole lot of that. Now they're not going to the frat boys and all of those people who be having weed, drugs, all of that. You're not going. They're not doing the crackdowns on them, but they're going to the hood, looking for they don't have a tip and they're not even finding anything. They're wasting time, breaking property, committing damage, okay, looking for things. And you got folk out there, oh, thank you. Oh my God, I can't stand black people.
Was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see every.
Okay.
Everybody else reposting the stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, young? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime, young. You can't do it. Let me give you something to break it down to you.
Okay, and as true as that is, let's keep that a buck. Let's say that's true. Let's say that. Let's say it's true. What I find very interesting is that when Trump gives a number, these conservatives and Republicans, they believe it 100%. Even though by all statistics, it's not just MSNBC or ABC, by all measure, crime has gone down. While they're talking about, well, yeah, it's screwing, crime has gone down. And Trump has not been able to give us any data. Trump, nor the Republicans, nor MAGA, nobody has been able to give us any data that refutes what this is saying, that counters what this is saying. They're not able to give us any data that not just crime in general, that any of these categories of crime has gone up in the last year. By all metrics, crime has been decreasing, not just in America in general, but in DC in particular, as well as other major cities. So there's nobody who's able to say, well, you know, this isn't an overreaction. He said, oh, well, they fixed the numbers. Okay, well, what are the real numbers then? Because you can't say, and crime in general, any and all crime warrants the damn National Guard. It can't be any and all crime. So what warrants this level of extreme militarized policing? What warrants this? And they're all like, oh, they fixed the numbers. He's just making that up at this point. He has nothing to base that off of. He can't substantiate that with anything.
For those that don't understand, I retired from UPS, right? So what they used to do to play with the numbers or whatever, we have mission packages. You would have drivers over the hours. They'd go in and enter the information, and the report would show whatever they needed to show to keep their bonus that week for their bosses not to fire their ass. So stop believing that stuff. And I don't know if you ever had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. They have got a lot more better now that the officers have did what they had to do and got all of these people out of the government and got rid of the riffraff and things of that nature. People actually do work now. Let me give you this for example, right? You got carry and conceals or whatever that were being issued by the DC separate department that was handling the gun license and the things of that nature. They went from turnaround time for like 4 months, 5 months for you to have to damn get a gun registered in DC and get a carry and conceal to 2 weeks. It used to take you 3 months just to get an appointment to talk to somebody and take your information and your gun down there. Now, you go online right now and they got appointments available tomorrow. How does that happen? What changed? You put some fire under their asses and now they want to do some work.
Okay. But the thing is that that concern, that could be a legitimate concern. It could be a legitimate concern if you're able to substantiate and have some type of correlation with people rapidly being able to get licenses. It's not like they're just buying guns illegally. They're able to legally purchase firearms if you're able to find some type of correlation to that and then violent crime. But you're not able to find that correlation because just because people are being able to get their licenses and permits and things like that faster does not mean that that's automatically going to equal more violent crime. As a matter of fact, the data is not showing that. So if the data is not showing that people getting their licenses is equaling more crime going up, why is people getting their gun license an issue? The only way you can be able to voice that as an issue is if you're able to say, well, because of this, and because of people being so lax with the permits, or us not giving the time length that you feel is necessary, you're creating a danger by giving gun licenses to people who you don't know is responsible. But if the data is showing that violent crime, let me show you again, if the data is showing that violent crime is decreasing, then you can't complain that gun licenses or permits or whatever the case may be is an issue. How is that an issue? What data do you have to substantiate the claim that this is an issue, and that we need to roll back on that? I would honestly, I really would. I would honestly give it to you if you were able to prove that to any degree, but to no degree are you able to prove that that's been an issue. You're looking for a reason to justify this. You're looking for a reason because based off of, like I keep saying, the numbers, and Trump himself, okay, Trump himself has not come out with any proof. He's just saying it's a bunch of crime. Okay. So literally, Trump can literally go anywhere in America and say, man, this crime is just out of control and we got to do something right now. Literally, with the logic he's using for DC, he can go anywhere in the country and say, man, this crime is just crazy. This is out of control. Oh, we need to send a National Guard in here. This is too much. Even if the crime has been decreasing over the last 3 decades steadily, with spikes maybe up and down, because that's just how statistics go, but steadily over the course of 3 decades, even if you prove that crime's gone down, with the logic of, well, I don't have to show you the stats, I can just say there's crime, so therefore it's out of control, so therefore I can send the National Guard. That's what he's doing. And you have a whole bunch of people sitting up there trying to find a reason to justify this, and there's no reason. There's no reason. Show y'all something else. I mean, because you do got a couple of people out there being all like, man, it's not Trump doing the right thing, man. Trump doing the right thing. Okay. Oh, man, hold on. Okay, there we go.
So everybody tripping about Trump releasing the National Guard out there in D.C. Everybody tripping about Trump putting the military in them towns. Well, if you're not a criminal, if you're not out there in them streets doing anything you ain't got no business doing, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're
and do y'all see that? This is, man, come on now. If you ain't a criminal, why is they stop? And they, first off, in the black community, we've always had these ass kissing, cop loving niggas who be all like, well, if you wasn't doing a crime, I don't see why the cops are stopping you in the first place. When we literally showed you guys in this very live stream videos of black people sitting on their property and being harassed by the police. You got police running into people's buildings for no reason and finding nothing. Okay? So all of this, well, if y'all wasn't doing nothing illegal, then they wouldn't be doing nothing to y'all. No, these cops are literally harassing black people looking for a reason. So all of that, well, y'all should just obey the law. How about that? That's what black people are doing, and we still get the feds busting the door down.
The gunslinger, if you're not the street runner, if you're not the one that's out there being notorious in those streets, if you're not the one putting tears in parents' eyes for no reason, for things, for stuff, if you're not out there terrorizing people, just wreaking havoc on the streets, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're not the problem, don't make yourself the problem. When the military hit them streets and they start grabbing people by the neck, I'm gonna be right there on my porch with a nice margarita, sitting there chilling, saying, I told you so. I mother freaking told you so.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, okay. Listen, y'all. Let me get to some of the super chats because the thing is that we're always gonna have this. There's always gonna be people. I want you guys to understand. They do not need, and this is cops around the world. I hope y'all don't understand or believe that this is only going to be in DC. Even if the National Guard necessarily is going to be only in DC or these other places, cops in general do this. They just look for things. So don't think that, well, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do is not gonna affect me, because it is. It will. It always has. Okay. Hold on. I just missed the first I want to get to the first super chat. Where's the first super chat at? I am scrolling through. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, hold on. I messed it up. The first, and let me get to some of the super chats real quick, but I want you to see this is what the mayor had to say. As I'm looking for the super chat. Y'all don't have to watch me scroll. I don't need to do all that. But this is what the mayor had to say about the situation. Mayor Bowser.
Like post-COVID, but we work quickly to put laws in place. And it is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but we work quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why we have seen a huge decrease in crime because of those efforts. We have been able to reverse that 2023 crime spike. This year, crime isn't just down from 2023. It's also down from 2019, before the pandemic, and we're at a 30-year violent crime low. We're not satisfied. We haven't taken our foot off the gas, and we continue to look for ways to make our city safer.
Okay. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Let me get super chat. I don't know why I cannot find that. Let me see something. Damn. Okay, so you have people. Let me get to some of the super chats. I can't get to the first one for whatever reason. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so you have Bruce. First off, shout out to Bruce, my brother Bruce. He came through. Didn't he? Ain't he coming through? Hold on. Why can I not see it? Why is it looking like? Oh, okay. Hold on. That's because I'm doing this. Okay, that's why. Bruce says, my brother Bruce, he says, you cooking. Why is it? The thing is kind of acting weird. Okay. It says, you cooking tonight, Afro. Thank you very much, Bruce. And he says $100. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. He says they're trying to make up their own crimes to support their narratives. Don't play along. Be one, be safe, be well. They are, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to find some reason to justify them coming out there. So they want to show to the media and the narrative that they're cracking down on crime. So right now they're going to make a bunch of bogus arrests, and then they're going to say, well, hold on, they made dozens of arrests. So that shows that it was necessary for them to be out there. That's the argument that they're going to make. I hope you guys understand that. That's the argument that they're going to make. They're going to arrest somebody for jaywalking. If they arrest a dozen people for jaywalking, they said in the span of 3 hours, they arrested 12 people. And notice that they're saying they're making all of these arrests but they're not really saying what the arrests are. Because when you actually see them out there, they're just roaming the streets, asking random people for ID. They're not really like going to targeted, executed area. They're not executing anything and going to targeted area. No, you're not really seeing that. They're really just, this is stop and frisk. The same thing they were doing in New York, where they're just looking for people, be all like, you don't have a seatbelt on. Okay, well, we can arrest you for that. Looking for stuff like that. Oh, your license plate is expired. Just looking for petty little things like that. All right. So they can boost the numbers up. So next thing you know, on Fox News, they're going to be like, oh my God, hundreds of arrests for very little petty things. Okay. And then Mother Tree, hold on, let me see. I don't know why it's looking the font real small. Saying this looks fake and staged. Something is off. It says, what is the real reason he bought the National Guard in? Calm your emotions and ask better questions. People really don't know why he bought the National Guard, and people still suspect giving different theories as to why. A lot of people are saying it could be a big distraction because of the whole situation with the Epstein files, and there's a lot of room to suspect that, because the fact that he kind of fumbled the bag on the Epstein files, and people are not forgetting that. So he might want a big event to get the media to focus on this, because right now the media is talking about this and this alone. When you Google Trump, this is the only thing that you really see. So it could be that. It could be they're looking for something else. But what I'm concerned with is, and the only thing I'm concerned with is black people in DC. And what I'm seeing is black people in DC getting arrested for recording somebody. I see black people in DC getting their houses just ran through. Okay. And I see black people in DC just getting randomly stopped and asked for ID. So that's the only thing I'm concerned with. But there is, and you're right, there is something off about the whole thing. Something very suspicious about the whole thing. It's just weird. It's odd. Okay. It's very odd. You're right about that. Okay. Let's get to Trenton Makes says Democrat FBAs are scared of leaving the house, and are scared of leaving the house for work, school, etc. So we need financial assistance. Also, come on now. Also, we need to be protected because we are being targeted just like illegal immigrants. Hey, you own to something. Hey, I got to give you your credit for that, bro. I got to give you your credit for that one. Because in LA, they were saying because ICE is out there deporting people. So you have a whole bunch of Hispanics who are now in financial strains, who are going through financial hardship because they have family members who are being deported, so they don't want to go to work. So because of the family members who are being deported, or for just because ICE is just looking for people, so they don't want to go to work. So the government is taking out money to give to them so they can keep their head above water. So if that's the case, that the same logic should be applied to us, because it doesn't matter what we go through. The Democrats don't want to do nothing for us. So, okay, Democrats, y'all giving money to them because of financial hardship, because of the situation. Y'all need to give money to us because of financial hardship, because of our situation. I fully agree with that. That's good logic. Thank you for that. I agree with that. Okay. Let me get to something else, because there was, there's been debates and stuff like that. Now you got suspected, white supremacy.
A few months ago I was in Union.
DC is just too much, all of this stuff. Look at this. Hold on. Let me show you.
But there's an obvious difference between DC and any other city in America. A few months ago I was in Union Station and saw a body hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator in Union Station because there was a murder right in front of me up on the second floor. I was going to get a tie, and I heard the shots and saw the body hit the floor. So I've been listening all day long to people trying to make some argument that Washington, D.C. is a safe place. it's not a safe place. And we can argue about statistics and numbers. There's a police commander right now on suspension because there's some allegation that the statistics have been altered. But we can argue about that all day long. Nobody in their right mind who lives there or visits there on
okay, with the whole thing, and I've been to DC a couple times. Shout out to my DC family. Shout out to my DMV family. Okay. Because DC is a part of the DMV, but the DMV expands past DC. So shout out to my DMV family. He claims that a body just hit the floor. And now when you go to DC, apparently like they make it seem like this is riddled with crime and people just get shot in broad daylight. This is the same stuff they say about Chicago. The same things they say about Chicago. If you walk across the street, next thing you know, the GDs and BDs, bullets just be flying randomly everywhere. And it's just so dangerous. It's more dangerous than Iraq. It's like a war zone going on. So, yeah. So this dude is just walking around and bodies just dropping in DC. Let him tell it. Even though the statistics don't show that, and if he's saying that the statistics have been altered, what is your proof of that? Where's your evidence that the statistics have been altered or are incorrect in any way? You don't get no evidence that the statistics have been altered in any way, because the statistics have been showing for the last 3 decades that crime is actually going down. But let them tell it, and this is their excuse. Anytime they want to bring the police in the situation or have stricter police, they will always say, oh my God, crime is just crazy. It's Armageddon. Don't you understand? Nobody is safe. People are boarding up their windows and kids are afraid to go to school and all of it. And they'll say that. Yep. And then next thing you know, when they send the National Guard is stopping black people for smoking weed. They send up there harassing black people smoking a joint on their porch. But let them tell it. It's gang violence. It's Armageddon. It's the end of the world. It's the end of DC and civilization as we know it, the way they're telling it. Okay, come on. We just know. Come on now.
police commander right now on suspension because there's some allegation that the statistics have been altered. But we can argue about that all day long. Nobody in their right mind who lives there or visits there on a regular basis would tell you that Washington, D.C. is safe, and everybody who goes there knows it, and everybody who goes there knows it.
I don't know that anybody is saying that Washington, D.C. is a panacea of.
And here's the thing. Before you say, well, Washington, D.C. is safe, I can almost give you that. But the thing is that before we do that, what is your definition of safe? And that's a very important question. Okay, I'm seriously asking this question. What is your exact definition of a community or a city being safe? Because if you say that crime at all, period, makes a city unsafe, then there is no place in this country that is safe. Furthermore, there's no place in the world that is safe. There's literally no place in the world where there's just no crime ever at all, period. Nobody does anything illegal, okay? Because people do illegal things all over the world, okay? So what is your definition of safe? Does DC have crime? Yes, it does have crime. But let them tell it, any crime at all makes the city unsafe. So therefore, that justifies the National Guard coming there. Well, I mean, then the National Guard should be everywhere in the country with this logic. Notice they're not really defining things. This is this vague, ambiguous thing. Well, somebody got shot. So, I mean, come on, send the military. Whoa. That's a little much. That's a little much, though. So just keep that in mind.
No crime. Hold on. Hey, hold on a second. I lived in DC for a long time. Okay, It's not a panacea of no crime, but I think the point made by Tara, and we have the data, the most dangerous places in the United States DC is not in the top 10 list.
Have you ever
The
seen a
number
body
one-
drop in
the number
Louisville?
one-
Because they have a higher
the
murder
number
rate
one- hold on
than
one
Washington,
second.
D.C. does.
The number one place
In your
is
home
Memphis,
state.
Tennessee. So I guess the point is there are a lot of places actually in this country that are
Well,
very dangerous, maybe more dangerous than DC.
I mean, in terms
A,
of homicide
and
rates, it
B,
was fourth highest
hold on.
last year. But
Lots
We're talking about
okay,
now.
lots of places that are dangerous in this country, but Trump is clearly using DC to make
Okay.
a point about having the National Guard roving the National Mall, where there are, last I checked, no crimes really being committed on the National Mall, and that's not where the crime is. I mean, if he sends the National Guard or FBI agents to Southeast and Southwest, that would be saying something. But
He shouldn't be doing that anyway. That's not
they're
their
trying
role.
to show something
is
to
there
the
really
public.
is there really going to be a resistance to have any kind of people on the street just looking out? That the kid that worked at the White House, when he got jumped by the 10 kids in the street gang, it was only because two cops saw it that he was able to escape.
Okay, yeah, but no, America does not need to be a damn police state. It doesn't need to do that. That's not what we're out here trying to make. Is that the country that we want to live in? Have you guys seen those movies where, like, in the future? I think what was the movie? I think maybe the Terminator. I don't know. It was a long time ago, right? Have you guys seen, like, in the Terminator movies where you got robots just patrolling the streets, or some type of futuristic apocalypse where you got robot drones just patrolling the streets and stuff like that, and you got people who are scared to do anything, and the robots are like patrolling it. Somebody said Dread. Like, do we know that's not what the country should be like? The country shouldn't be like that, where you just got military on a regular basis for a really no reason whatsoever, running through people's houses and patrolling any and everything, and doing that specifically to a racial demographic, which is black people. Which are black people. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And they've done this before. They've done this before. You don't need to see that. If you want to crack down on crime, and this is why I do not like the Republicans' solution to this, because the damn Republicans, now they talk about being tough on crime, tough on crime, tough on crime. Well, what about the criminals on January 6th, though? What about those criminals? Now, on January 6th, they were sitting up there talking about, oh, these are patriots. They said that they were patriots out there doing their, protesting their First Amendment right. Notice when it comes to white people, whether that's January 6th, whether that's Kyle Rittenhouse, whether that's Daniel Penny, there's the latitude when it comes to doing illegal things seems to just expand indefinitely when they're Caucasian. Notice that. It doesn't matter what they do when they're Caucasian, they will find some way to construe the law to be like, well, hold on, technically, if you dust off this law, then technically he would technically fit in this law right here. So technically it is legal. They expand and they misconstrue and they redefine laws to make when white people break the law, you can break into the Capitol, and the same people who vouch for the damn criminals, because a lot of them have records, then they don't want to tell you that. A lot of people have records, have been in jail, have been arrested, in trouble with the law before. They will sit up there and tell you these were patriots and heroes, and are now trying to tell you that there's some type of justification for the damn National Guard to be roaming through the streets of DC looking for people smoking a joint. Going into people's house looking for a couple ounces of weed. That's what they're trying to tell you. The same people. That's what they're trying to tell you. That's what they're trying to tell you. So all of this, like I'm trying to say, the Democrat and conservative, oh, we on this conservative side? No, we not. Anytime somebody say I'm a conservative, I say, no, I'm not. Do not put me in no damn conservative category. I have never claimed to be no damn conservative. I've never claimed to be no Republican or nothing of the sort. I'm not none of that, okay? Because I understand that y'all white supremacists over there on the left and y'all white supremacists over there on the right. I know that. So I'm not with none of that. Okay. I might agree when it comes to certain policies. I might agree when it comes to the immigrant thing, when it comes to that policy, but that don't mean I'm on y'all side. And I'm so glad that all of us here are mature enough to understand that just because you agree with a certain political position that a party might have does not mean that you have to agree with the whole party or everybody in the party. That don't mean that. Okay. Let me get to now. This is the mayor of Baltimore. Now, Baltimore is not really being targeted. Baltimore is, if I'm not mistaken, my DC people can correct me if I'm wrong. Baltimore is like an hour and a half, maybe, from Maryland. If I'm not mistaken, it's about an hour out from Maryland. Okay. So it's not really in the DMV area, but it's kind of close to it. But Baltimore's crime has been decreasing as well too. And this is what the mayor of Baltimore had to say about it. It's about 40 minutes. It's about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes. Okay, so about 45 minutes. Oh yeah, about 45 minutes. All right. Okay. So y'all, I'm assuming y'all are from DC. I'm assuming y'all from DC. Baltimore. Some Baltimore is in Maryland. I thought Baltimore is in Maryland. I thought Baltimore and Maryland was this different thing. Baltimore and Maryland are different. Baltimore is not in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken, because Baltimore is kind of like, yeah, last I checked, Baltimore and Maryland not the same place. I don't know. I don't think that's, I don't know. I mean, y'all could tell me. I'm not from there, but that's not what Baltimore is in Maryland. It is. Okay. Well, Baltimore is in Maryland though. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. All right then. Well, this is the mayor of Baltimore though. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you that. Let me show you. It's all right. It's all right. I ain't saying anything indefinitely. Okay. Baltimore is in Maryland. Okay.
On her block. The report says, quote, a 77-year-old woman from Curtis Bay who asked to remain anonymous due to threats she's received from drug dealers on her block compared the morning drug traffic to a fast food.
Okay, so yeah, that's where I was getting confused. Okay. Baltimore is in Maryland. Baltimore isn't. Okay, I was getting confused. Okay, hold on. Let me correct myself. Let me correct myself. Okay, I was wondering why I was having a little brain fart right there. Baltimore is in Maryland. Okay, it is. It's in Maryland. Okay, it's not 45 minutes away from Maryland. It is a part of Maryland, but it's about that far away from DC. Okay, because the DC DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. Okay, so that's they put the whole thing there. Okay, together, but Maryland, Virginia, and DC are technically separate. All right. So what I mean when I don't know, I had a brain fart or something like that where I was thinking that Baltimore, because it's about 45 minutes away from DC, means it's about 45 minutes away from the DMV. Okay, so Baltimore is a part of the DMV, but it's not a part of DC because DC is technically not a part of Maryland. All right. So yeah, that was I don't know why it just took me a second to kind of get that together. So because DC stands for, it's a district, it's the District of Columbia. So DC in the DMV, DC is in the DMV, but in Maryland is in the DMV, but Maryland is not a part of DC. Okay. So okay. Got to get that together. I don't know why I got it now. I got it. Okay. So I was thinking like, no, when people say Baltimore's far from DC. Okay, yeah. And I know that. I don't know why I was tripping. Okay. But let's get to it.
Drive-through.
Hold on, let me play it back.
The report says, quote, a 77-year-old woman from Curtis Bay who asked to remain anonymous due to threats she's received from drug dealers on her block compared the morning drug traffic to a fast food drive-through. When a real estate agent assessed her property about a month and a half ago, she said the agent told her, I can't sell this house with that, referring to the 10 or 12 people involved in the drug market loitering across the street. I'm going to get hurt one day. I know I am, she said.
What do you say to those residents of Baltimore who may think that citing falling crime statistics glosses over some of the harsher day-to-day realities and needs that they have to their lives in Baltimore, need for things to change even further in terms of just regular drug trafficking?
Yeah, so we're only having that discussion because the president is having that discussion. And this, I want to be very clear. I didn't read the Baltimore Sun article. I don't read it because they're a part of the president's propaganda machine. So I don't read that. But what I will say to the residents is very clear, Jake. They know me very well. And you know, you met me as a young councilman. Excuse me. You met me as a young city councilman who was leading the largest anti-violence movement in this city and before Freddie Gray in 2015. I am someone who is different from me. I've had the gun in my face. I've lost friends. This isn't just
let me play it back. I don't know why the value
some of the
decreased.
harsher day-to-day realities and
it's only a minute. I'm gonna circle it back. The volume was low. Can y'all hear it better now?
It says, quote, a 77-year-old woman from Curtis Bay who asked to remain anonymous due to threats she's received from drug dealers on her block compared the morning drug traffic to a fast food drive-through. When a real estate agent assessed her property about a month and a half ago, she said the agent told her, "I can't sell this house with that," referring to the 10 or 12 people involved in the drug market loitering across the street. "I'm going to get hurt one day. I know I am," she said. What do you say to those residents of Baltimore who may think that citing falling crime statistics glosses over some of the harsher day-to-day realities and needs that they have to their lives in Baltimore, need for things to change even further in terms of just regular drug trafficking?
Yeah, so we're only having that discussion because the president is having that discussion. And this, I want to be very clear. I didn't read the Baltimore Sun article. I don't read it because they're a part of the president's propaganda machine. So I don't read that. But what I will say to the residents is very clear, Jake. They know me very well. And you know, you met me as a young councilman. Excuse me. You met me as a young city councilman who was leading the largest anti-violence movement in this city and before Freddie Gray in 2015. I am someone who is different from me. I've had the gun in my face. I've lost friends. This isn't just talking about or talking points. This is actually a life that I have lived. And what we're going to continue to do is work in every community around the city to deal with this issue.
Okay, now, okay. So, and the thing is, in Baltimore, crime is also going down in Baltimore. Okay, crime is going down in Baltimore because he understands, and I will give him his credit. He understands that there's a smarter way to approach crime. Okay, what you got to do when it comes to crime is you got to approach the core of the crime. I'm not saying that you should make zero arrests. If I was the mayor, yes, people are going to get arrested. Yes, people are going to go to jail. Yeah, you're going to have that. But there's a smarter way to prevent crime. Okay, and the Republicans know that. The Republicans have this approach of lock them up and throw away the key. The Democrats do too. The Democrats act like they're super smart on crime. They're really not that smart on crime, but they claim, at least what they say, is smart solutions on crime. They just really don't enact those solutions that well. But what they say is smart solutions on crime. At least their verbiage about dealing with crime is better than the Republicans' verbiage of dealing with crime. The Democrats just don't enact their actual plan, but they claim that their plan is smarter. The Republicans' plan is to lock up criminals and throw away the key. But it seems like when they talk about lock up criminals, they parry that with dog whistles of black people. So that's the thing. It's crime either way. Either way, it's crime. And you look at both the Democratic ran cities, the Republican ran cities, the Democratic plan, the Republican plan, black folk are the ones getting locked up no matter what. Okay, so they're both wrong on both sides. Even if you have some Democrats who are maybe better like him or whatever the case is, the Democrats are still wrong in many cases. Let me get to the Bruce again. Bruce says, Afro, the Sixers kicked DCPD ass. Okay. Oh, okay. The J6ers kicked DCPD ass. Then they got co-signed and pardoned, okay, by the White House. They did. That's very true. They were out there committing crimes, stealing government property, committing damage on federal property, breaking a whole bunch of state and federal laws. People got injured, all of that stuff. And next thing you know, Donald Trump said, you know what? They're heroes. And he pardoned all of them. Whether they were criminals or not, he pardoned all of them, no matter what they did. They were out there looking for politicians to lynch, and all of them got pardoned. So I don't want to hear none of that. Well, we got to be tough on crime, because when Donald Trump showed that he could be tough on crime, he let them go because they fit his damn agenda. So no, ain't none of that tough on crime stuff. Speaking of damn Republicans who are gonna lie and be, gonna lie, Brian Donalds had something he wanted to say about it. Oh, come on now. Brian Donalds, let me show y'all this. This is what Brian Donalds had to say.
Republican Congressman Byron Donalds of the great state of Florida, member of the House Oversight Committee, also a candidate for Florida governor. Great to see you today. Look, this is making huge news in part because the left is so angry over this. And Jeanine Pirro there, the U.S. Attorney for D.C., laying out why this is necessary and how young some of the perpetrators are. Your take.
My take is the U.S. attorney is absolutely correct. D.C. has a history of being substantially weak on crime. That's why the District of Columbia continues to be unsafe.
Okay. The whole thing of weak on crime, when they say that, they quite literally mean lock people up and then keep them in jail. When there are smarter and actually more effective ways to deal with crime. Okay? There are smarter and more effective ways to deal with crime. The statistics have shown that dealing with crime in different manners is smarter and more effective. Now, the whole being light on crime, none of the Republicans have any right to say anything like that, because all of them, and I do mean all of them, were out here protesting and campaigning for all of the January 6ers. All of them. They were saying that all of them were being mistreated, all of them were innocent, and all of them were protesting and doing everything the legal way, and that the Democrats were being too tough on them when it came to the crime, when it came to the punishment. So none of them have any right to sit up there and say that, you know what, Democrats are light on crime.
I filed legislation. We just refiled it again. That would actually put DC in line with every other jurisdiction in America. What I mean by that is, in the District of Columbia, if you're 22 years old and you commit a crime, they can try you as a juvenile. No other part of America does that, but they do that in DC. That's the kind of stuff that needs to change. With respect to what President Trump has done, it is his responsibility to take the safety and security of the nation's capital seriously. And I'm glad to see that he's dispatched National Guard to keep the streets of DC safe for everyone.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Now, Brian Donalds is a damn anti-reparationist tether. We already know that. That's not news to nobody. Here's how long? Because at what point is DC safe for the National Guard to go back home? Because clearly there didn't need to be a spike in crime to initiate this level of response. So are the National Guard going to stay there indefinitely until there is absolutely zero crime in DC at all? Because you guys are not saying really what the reason for crime. You're not showcasing an incident or statistic that warrants this level of aggression from the police, this level of policing. So what you're saying is because there's crime in general, that warrants this level of policing. So is the logic now to just put the National Guard there, excuse me, looking for people indefinitely? Is that the logic now? That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing. I'm telling y'all, black people in DC, we need to just make sure we're careful. Shout out to Tree Moon. Again, Tree Moon says they are targeting teens and young folk. That's true. Clearly, they are looking to try to provoke us to do something. But what? This may need to be examined metaphysically. Let's be honest. Hey, that's very true, and thank you for that. I want brothers, especially the young brothers in DC, really in the DMV area, because kind of the DMV area is hot, but mainly is DC. They're looking for something, and I'm glad that you said that, because that segues me to something else. Okay, because right now what they're going to start doing is they're going to start staging different events. They're going to start staging different things to lure a large amount of people in to look for things, because they're really not finding anything. That's the thing. They're not really finding any crime. And what they have to do is they have to give something, show some evidence to the media that substantiates the reason for them coming out there, that gives them a reason for coming out there, that verifies their reasoning for coming out there. Okay, so now they're going to pick people for being petty, and they're looking for young black teenagers, in particular males. They're looking for young black males to rough up and get arrested or whatever, and they're going to be doing things to provoke and antagonize young black males in particular to do something to them. So therefore, they get to verify, be all like, oh my God, federal officers were attacked by criminals. And then next thing you know, they're going to give more, they're going to send more federal officers, more police, and they're going to antagonize people more. And there's going to be this fight and brawl. I can already see that. So young black males need to be very, very careful. All right. And they're gonna start staging things as well too. Just know, because that's just how they do. That's just how they do. All right. I saw this one thing, and I want people to be aware of this. Look at this. Okay. Hold on.
If you are black and
hold on, let me show you. Pull it up.
If you are black in DC, please watch this video. You may have noticed, just like I have, that President Donald Trump has encouraged federal law enforcement agencies to patrol the streets of DC. This means that agencies like FBI, U.S. Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, DEA are now patrolling the streets like they are local law enforcement in DC. And so this may produce some questions for us, like, is this legal? Why is this happening? And how should I conduct myself in this climate? I'm going to address these things in this video. A few years ago, DC Council voted to allow federal law enforcement agencies to enforce local laws as if they are extensions of the Metropolitan Police Department. So, for example, FBI, U.S. Marshals have had permission to enforce local laws, such as jaywalking and arresting, citing someone for smoking marijuana, or like DUIs. Like, they've had permission to do this. So everything that's happening is completely legal. Why is this happening? I grew up in this area. From the time I was a child, there have always been rumblings of the Republican Party wanting to take over DC. Like, since I was a child, everything that's happening has been said, and like cooler minds prevailed, but there's always been conversation from very far right individuals about taking over DC and what that would look like for them to own and control the city. So this has been a thing, a part of their conversation. I've heard this since I was a child. Finally, how do you conduct yourself in this climate? First of all, I want you all to understand something. Federal agents are not your police officers from DC. They're not. They're from all over the country, and they've been assigned to this area. You could have somebody who's a federal agent who has never really interacted with black people before in their life. They could be from the middle of nowhere. They became a federal law enforcement agency, whether it was Homeland Security or DEA. They've never really encountered black people other than on TV. And now they're a federal law enforcement agent, and President Trump has given them license to patrol the streets. A second thing, they are not trained like local law enforcement to patrol the streets. They're not. They don't have the same de-escalation training. They're not taught how to identify people. They also don't have the experience. So it is a very dangerous thing. And there are some people in DC who are like, oh, this is going to clean up the street. What makes you think that? I have 3 degrees. I look no differently from anybody else who's out here. I look no different from somebody who may be breaking into a car. This is not going to make the street safer for anybody. It's going to make it dangerous for all of us. So how do you conduct yourself? I'm going to tell you to follow the law seriously. If you drink and drive after going out, going to brunch, At night, I wouldn't do that. If you are driving with your insurance expired, I wouldn't do that. If you are driving, you got tail lights out, I wouldn't do that. And if you have to party and you want to have a good time, you want to let yourself loose, I would go to areas that voted blue during the last election, where certain people don't have complete control over that jurisdiction. Maryland. I would go hang out in Maryland. That's what I would do.
All right. So, technically, like he said, and as unfortunate as it is, this is legal. It's extreme, it's unnecessary, but it is legal. So, as far as like suing and all of that stuff, even if you try to sue for discrimination, that's an uphill battle that might not be successful, unfortunately. So what we need to do is just keep our head on the swivel, stay safe, because they're looking for a reason. Right now they're looking for any and everything. I don't want nobody to be super scared. Don't be panicking, because you do got some people who are kind of panicking about it and who are making it seem like, oh my God, it's a war on black people. Now, I will admit that they are out there targeting and harassing black people, but you got people who are saying stuff like this.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Donald Trump has officially declared war on the black community by unleashing the militarized police and the National Guard, ICE, FBI agents all into DC is an attack on black people. And
now, okay. Let's. All right. They are targeting, and I'm not going to dismiss that. I've shown you guys multiple evidence of that. They are doing that. But now what you're going to see, I want you guys to be aware. That's why you guys come to this channel, because this channel is, unbiased when it comes to the Democrats and Republicans, because you guys know our loyalty is to black empowerment. It's just to black people. All right. It's not to no political party. It's not to no politician. All right. We don't have any Democrat or Republican angle on this channel at all. You guys know that. That's why you guys come here. All right. You're going to see a whole lot of people from the Democrat side. You're going to see a whole lot of them. They're going to be all like, oh, this is an attack. He's waging war on black people. We told you guys to vote for Kamala. We told you guys what was going to happen. Y'all wanted to vote for the couch. Y'all wanted to do all of that stuff. Look. It is going to be tough, and they are targeting black people. That's true, but there's no need for us to lose our minds. There's no need for us to feel as if this is not like super big. You know what I'm saying? Let's all be level-headed. This is not necessarily a declaration of war on black people. This is only going on in DC. I'm not trying to mitigate the situation. Belittle the situation. I'm not trying to downplay the severity of the situation, but let's not be dramatic. For you to say this is a declaration of a war on black people, that's kind of dramatic. That's dramatic. All right. We don't need to be dramatic right now.
FBI agents all into DC is an attack on black people. And when I used to make videos defending the Latino and the Mexican community, people used to come for me in my comments and they would say, it's not our fight. I say, yes, it is our fight. This man is going against the Constitution. He's treating people like animals. Well,
see, and now you're going to see a whole lot of that, y'all. We're going to see a lot of that too. Well, we told y'all because he was attacking the Latinos that we was next. We told y'all we was next. We told y'all that no. I'm going to say this, but yeah, we get it. They're mostly looking for black people. Black people, just be smart. Because the thing is that this is nothing new. This ain't nothing that we have not already lived through. This is not anything that we have not already experienced. We've already experienced this. We've already lived through all of this. We've lived through stop and frisk, even under the Democrats. Okay, we're not going to let that slide. We're not going to let the fact that it was Jim Crow, Joe Biden, who signed the 94 crime bills, and Bill Clinton and all of them who was locking black people up and throwing away the key. We're not going to forget that the Democrats have had the same approach in many situations, and black people have been locked up in many situations, and a lot of times at higher rates and numbers under the Democratic Party. We're not going to forget that either. All right. So this is a storm we've already weathered. This is something we've already survived. Yes, it's going to be a hard time, but it was going to be a hard time no matter who became the president. All right. We never endorsed Trump. That's the thing. We never endorsed Trump, but we didn't endorse the Democrats either. But we're going to survive this. This is not a war against black people. Let's not be dramatic. Let's not lose our heads. And as far as vouching for the Latinos, yeah, we would no. Even if they are, locking black people up for petty offenses, those black people that they're locking up aren't getting deported. They're not out there deporting no black people. We're not getting deported. So yeah, all of that, we should have fought for the Latinos. We should no. That's still not our fight. It don't matter what's going on in DC right now. All of the stuff with the illegals, they still got to go. They still got to get out of there. We're not changing our stances on that. I don't want nobody to be like, you know what, guys, y'all was right the whole time. No, they were not. They were not right the whole time. They were still wrong. As far as all of the Latinos and the illegal immigration and stuff like that, they're still wrong. Okay, all of these people who are going to come out of the woodworks now with the we told you so, we told you so, we told you so. No, because you can find situations like this that happened under the Biden administration. Okay, where they was militarizing the police under the Biden administration, under the Obama administration. So nobody can pull the "we told you so" card out. They can't do that. They cannot do that. Okay. And I'm not even trying to downplay what's going on right now, but don't let no damn Democrat shield say, see, this is why we should have came for the Hispanics. No, we shouldn't have. Because a lot of the cops who are out there breaking into black people's homes are Hispanic. Now, they don't want to tell you that part. But they was like, yeah, you see, we should have protested with our Hispanic brothers and sisters. The black and brown should have stuck together. But they're not going to show you or tell you that a lot of the damn cops that are harassing black people are also Hispanic. Just keep that in mind.
Now he's trying it for us. This man has tried to get to black people since he's been in office. And every day it was something new. And we'd wake up and we just laugh it off and say, oh, well, you ain't talking to us. Now he has found a way to release the police on us. And he had said before he got in office that the police could do whatever they wanted to do and he would back them. Whereas no more stop and frisk. All those police killings, they're back. They're back.
Okay. All the police killings, they're back. Okay. We already know what Trump's response to crime is. And like I said in the very beginning of the live, I have never, ever, ever approved of Donald Trump's handling when it comes to crime, because I always know it's slanted against black people. Okay. It's tough on crime when they're black. It's light on crime when they're white. Trump has always been like that. Okay. And I've always called that out. Okay. From when I very first started YouTube, I've always called that out. All right. But let's be honest. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? None of the stuff she's saying, the cops get away with killing black people. It was a lot of black people who were shot and killed under the Biden administration and under the Obama administration. So yes, if the same thing's going, it's really nothing new. Nothing is new. These people don't have a I gotcha moment, because you had a whole bunch of black people who were killed with the police getting away scot-free. It was just Joe Biden wasn't saying, I'm going to let them get away scot-free. When it comes to the Democrats, what they do is they'll be all like, well, we got to investigate, and the investigation goes nowhere. With the Republicans, they'll just say, okay, well, it doesn't matter. So you'll have the Republicans who will openly admit they don't care, and the Democrats who will say they care but don't show you any action. That's literally the difference. But tangibly, there's no difference. Substantively, there's no difference between the two. So all of that police killings are back. When did they leave? That's my only question to that. If you're saying that the police killings are now back, you have to now claim or say when they left. And they never left. All right. So don't let see now the Democrat shields are going to come out like, we got you guys. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Protect your children. Protect yourself, because we have a sick individual in office, and whoever voted him in is a sick motherfucker too. I knew it was.
Okay. We've always had everybody who's been president is a sick son of a gun. Everybody who's been president. You can't name one person who ain't been president, ain't did nothing for black people. Even the ones who did do something for black people, there was a damn agenda behind it, or they were forced to. So yeah, it's like, we got a sick president now. When I hear people be all like, this current administration is anti-black, I'm like, so the previous one wasn't? They all anti-black. Ain't nothing new, y'all. Ain't nothing new. That's what I'm saying. Now, when it comes to foundational Black Americans, there are highs and lows. Okay. There are some times when, the situation ain't as bad. And then there are some times when the situation just get a lot worse. We just get more turned up. It's just what it is. Okay. These situations, I don't want anybody to feel like they shouldn't take these serious, because you all should. We all should, as a collective. We should take this situation very seriously. But at the same time, I don't want people to lose their minds and act like this is something unprecedented. Yeah, the National Guard, of course, being in DC just patrolling, that part is unprecedented. But as far as black people having to deal with stop and frisk, which is pretty much what this is, that's not unprecedented at all. That's always been there. Everywhere in America, you got stop and frisk going on. You had the police be militarized. This is not the first time at all. First or second time, third time that we've seen militarized police. We've seen that, and we've seen that in blue states as well, too. In blue cities as well, too. Okay? So we've seen police go after black people for petty offenses. None of what we're seeing right now is new. That's all I'm saying. None of what we're seeing is new. None of it. All right. So, yeah, all we got to do is make sure that we keep our head on the swivel, kind of avoid the areas that we know they're going to be. We know where they're going to be. Avoid those areas and just watch your brothers and sisters back. That's all we got to do. And we will be okay. Okay. This is anti-black racism, but it's not anti-black racism that we have not been through. It's not anti-black racism that we have not survived, and it's not something that we will not survive in the future. We will, if we stay on code and stick together, we'll be okay. We'll be okay, y'all. We will be okay. Don't let these damn Democrat shields get everybody's blood pressure boiling. Because it's not the Armageddon that they're making it out to be. It's really not. Let me get to the super chat real quick. I appreciate you. We here past 12 o'clock, y'all, and we got over 700 something people in the room still. It's past 12 o'clock. This is going on 12:30 right now. Okay, let me get. Where's the other super chat? Come on now. Okay. First off, Bruce again. Bruce been on it. Bruce says, "Don't play along. Stay strong." That's all we got to do, y'all. Stay strong. That's all we got to do. Stay strong. All right. Let's see. Mother Tree and Moon says they may be looking for those black aliens. Have y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? I think there was a leak. Thank you. There was like a leak or something like that from NASA, and NASA was talking about that there were aliens that look like black Americans. I don't know if y'all heard that, but there was like some type of leak or information where they was like, they've confirmed that they were aliens. There were like sightings of aliens and the aliens were they look like FBA, they look like Black American, like these are people who like legit work for NASA, saying that there are like FBA looking aliens. So, you know, hey, you know, it might get real. It might get real. They might be looking for some aliens. Okay. So if y'all see a FBA and, you know, and the FBA is doing some weird non-FBA stuff, okay, if y'all looking for FBA aliens, just look for the FBAs who are doing non-FBA stuff. If you see an FBA with a jar of mayonnaise, eating a jar of mayonnaise, that might be an extraterrestrial, okay? It might be an alien, okay? If you see somebody who look like they are FBA and they doing, if you see an FBA and the FBA is watching Friends, the TV show, y'all know the TV show Friends, you know, that might be an alien. We got to look out for as FBA, you can never get a break. You got to look out for the damn National Guard, and now you got to look out for aliens. If you see somebody watching Friends, might be an alien. You don't know. If you see an FBA be all like, I'm thirsty, where's the milk? Might be an alien. I don't know. They might, you don't know. If you see, and what do I gotta say it? But I gotta say this. I gotta say it. Even though she ain't FBA, but if you see somebody washing their greens in the bathtub, they might be an alien. I don't know. If you see them washing their greens in the bathtub, you let them know. First off, don't eat them greens, and let them know, hey, they might be an alien. Okay? They might be. Who knows? So just look for signs that they you know, not FBA. Okay, just look for that. If you see, you know how we fry chicken and everything like that. If you guys know, you gotta season the chicken before you season the flour, and the flour should be seasoned. You should have some seasoned flour because the flour is the coating. Okay, so the skin. Oh, I don't need to teach y'all how to fry chicken. We all know how to fry chicken now. If you see them just putting the chicken, no seasoning or nothing like that on the chicken, and then putting it in the grease, they might be an alien. Okay, and here's the thing. They might be friendly. Don't judge them. Don't judge them. Just talk to them. Try to figure out their intentions. We don't know. They might be here to help. They might be here to help. Let them know about our situation. Say, hey, we will welcome you. Your spaceship, your mother queen, we will welcome you. Hey, we can work together. We trying to get some reparations. Y'all want, I don't know, some land or something like that. I don't know what y'all want to. As long as y'all ain't here eating nobody, you know, we can work with you. Help us get some reparations, and we will teach you our ways. Do that. If the aliens are coming for culture, sit up there and be like, we will teach you our ways. We just need some alien technology. We're trying to get these reparations up in here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, hey, we might have a new ally. Who knows? We got to spot them out. I don't know. If you see a National Guard taking when your alien brothers and sisters, we got to defend our alien brothers and sisters. Okay. Next thing you know, we might have to break them out of Area 52. Well, Area 51, I think it is. I don't know which 50 it is. I think it's Area 51. We might have to protest outside of Area 51 for our FBA, our FBA aliens. Okay. They're the foundational black aliens. Wow. I can't believe I just said that. Okay. Speaking of FBA, y'all like this shirt? Y'all like this shirt, right? I know y'all do. A lot of people in the chat room been saying y'all like this shirt. If y'all like this shirt, there's a sale going on today. The sale just started today, and y'all have really had massive sales. We had massive sales today, and today is just the first day of the sale. We just released a new design. You got the FBA flag, or the Black American Heritage flag in the American flag in the USA. Like in the country layout. A lot of people love in that design. Okay. And this is by far the most popular design we've had at all, period. The FBA in the red, white, and blue. And then we got another FBA design. So the site is just blowing up. And thank you guys for that. Thank y'all for that. You know what I'm saying? So Y'all want to, yeah, somebody's foundational black aliens. Hey, if they on outside, they cool. Now, look, if they tethers, that's the last thing we need. We really don't need no tether aliens. We already got enough tethers going on. We really don't need, because if they tethers, they're going to be extreme tethers. Can you imagine a tether from another world? That's going to be something. Please don't be no tether, man. Please don't do that. We got enough tether problems. We don't need no alien tethers. Come on. We don't need that. But yeah, y'all can get yourself some merch on the website. I appreciate y'all. We've been on here for a couple hours in the middle of the night. And we in here deep still. I love y'all. I really do. I'm going to have to make it up to y'all. We're going to have to do some type of calling show next week or something like that. We're going to have to do that. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Like I said, you know, we out here and they in DC. They ain't really got no business out there, but yeah, they doing, yeah. We just got to make sure that we straight. We just got to make sure that we straight, brothers and sisters. We just got to make sure that we straight. And if anything, what the Democrats can do is they can give us some resources, because we are going through difficult times and we are being targeted. Now, when other groups of people get targeted, they give them resources. Other groups of people get targeted, they give them some damn resources. So now that we're getting targeted, now that we're being disproportionately affected by these, I guess, crackdowns or whatever you want to call it, we need to get specific resources, okay? And resources for FBA, Foundational Black Americans. No resources for no black and brown, no resources for people of color, no resources for people in the urban community, okay? Because when the Hispanics were going through stuff, y'all gave resources to Hispanics specifically, okay? When Asians were going through stuff, y'all gave resources to Asians specifically. Y'all didn't give resources to people of color. So don't do that with us, all right? So if anything, we need to be holding them accountable too. We need the same type of repair that they try to give everybody else, if we're going to do that. But with that being said, family, I appreciate y'all for being with us on the late night. Okay, we're going to get back to our schedule. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure y'all leave a like. That's very important. That's very, very important. Make sure y'all leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Double check, because they're going to be doing stuff. Double check. Make sure that you guys are subscribed. Even if you guys were subscribed, double check and make sure you guys are subscribed, okay? And hit that notification bell. If you guys didn't get the notifications, you guys can follow on social media. The links to that is all in the description, as well as the link to the merch. Appreciate that in the description. With that being said, good night, family. Y'all stay safe, and y'all stay blessed.